What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into The Flash issue number 797. This story is going to be taking place before everything that happened with the 1 Minute War. More specifically, this story takes place at the end of the annual 2022 Flash. This is going to be a multiversal field trip, with Jai, Irey, and Maxine making their way to an old familiar place. And while they go on this multiversal field trip, our super kids are about to run into some very unlikely allies that they did not expect to see here. And part of me really wants to give it away. I even wanted to put it on the thumbnail, but we're gonna leave it for a surprise, because with their arrival, I was 100% stoked, and I truly hope that we get more stories like this. You know, I was really skeptical on Jeremy Adams taking over the Flash after Joshua Williamson, but I give the man props. He has knocked it out of the freaking park. His stories are ones that just keep on giving. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with Maxine, Jai, and Irey. They just got out of school. They are all headed back to the house, and this is when they run into Kid Flash. Wally had called him up to do a little bit of babysitting. They found themselves preoccupied, and they needed Wallace to fill in for them. With Wally offering him something unique, he decided to go ahead and do it. But he is quickly learning that this is much more. He wasn't expecting Maxine, he wasn't expecting a sleepover. Regardless, he tells the kids that let's get going. The first stop is pizza. But this is when we see the children. They are teleported away. With Wallace turning around to see that the children are gone, he just realized how much trouble he is truly in. And when the kids land on the other side, what they find is Knives Maroney. This is the monster guy that seems to be aging backwards. Our kids have already gone against him once. He has teleported them here so that he can get his revenge. He did this using the Eternity Mind. The kids had left behind one of the devices that allowed them to jump back to their dimension. And so Knives Maroney was jumping from dimension to dimension. And then he found the Eternity Mind. It grants you whatever you want from anywhere in time and space. But Knives Maroney didn't come alone. He has brought along with him Dr. Nightmare, Reverse Grodd, Mineral Man, Foul Play, and Heat Wave Jr. Enemies from past, present, and future. And they are here to end the Super Kids. Now, Reverse Grodd does recognize that there is only 3 of them. They had been promised revenge on all 7. But while this is heating up, we pick up with Wallace making his way over to Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific having a portal open, and it looks like freaking Cthulhu is about to come through. Wallace quickly explaining what is going on. Him and Mr. Terrific, they try to devise a plan on how to solve this. Back with our kids and Knives Maroney, they are deciding who gets the first hit. While they sit here and argue about all of this, in the shadows, we have 2 figures that are waiting for their opportunity. They are waiting for the villains to reveal their whole plan like they always do. The plan is to take out the kids, and then use this little gizmo to loot the universe of anything of value. Hearing the details, that is where the Super Sons come flying in. Our young Jonathan and Damian Wayne, they have shown up on scene to save the day, and they waste no time kicking some butt. With Reverse Grodd throwing John into Irey, we see both of them really start to blush. They turn red as an apple. But with John getting back up to his feet, he goes to take on Reverse Grodd, only to see that Jai is already there, and he gives one heck of a super punch to him. Damian is letting it be known that they need the Eternity Mind. That's where Irey goes in using her super speed and she grabs it very quickly. Dr. Nightmare not wanting them to be able to get away. We see him use his powers. The children, they try to run, but they can only get so far so quick. Now with Mr. Terrific and Wallace right now is freaking out, not believing that they ran off. Mr. Terrific saying maybe they had been abducted, but if they were abducted on his watch, Linda is going to kill him. And Mr. Terrific says, she's not gonna kill you, but you might need to leave the dimension. He isolated their frequency, he opens up a portal, and Wallace, grabbing the device needed to bring them back, he heads off. But when he lands on the other side, he runs into Reverse Grodd and all the villains. He was really hoping to find the kids, but he landed directly in front of Knives Mahoney and everybody else. And the children, they are in the corridor of forever. Damien doing his best to try and figure out how to get out of here, to try and figure out how this works, or maybe send out some kind of signal so that his dad, their dads, could come, or maybe even more competent heroes. Damien being freaking Damien, he's still bashing on other individuals. In this situation, he's bashing on Maxine, Irey, and Jai. And Irey points out that when Damien had jumped down to help them, she thought, oh no, it's another annoying Robin, just like the one from our world. Then she thought, nah, he's too short. It must be a Robin from part of the multiverse, thinking maybe this Robin might be nice, but she is quickly seeing that they are wrong, that he is the same as he has always been. That's when John goes on to explain everything that Robin has been through, saying that he may have super strength, but Robin is the strongest person that he knows. And while he may be annoying, he may be the only opportunity to get them out of here. And so they all take off to find the exit. Meanwhile, Kid Flash, he's working through these villains, but they outmatch him. By himself, he is taken down. With them being able to find the exit, the super kids arrive just in time to save Wallace. They throw the Eternity Mind back to Knives, and this is when all the kids at once, they begin asking for things, and the Eternity Mind begins to manifest them, from elephants to rhinos to fog. This quickly overwhelms them. It gives them the opportunity to save Kid Flash, and then the super kids start laying down a beatdown. With Damien being able to get the Eternity Mind, he sends all the villains to the nearest jail from their city of origin. In an instant, we see all of them disappear. With Wallace opening up a portal, he says that it is time for them to go. And so the super kids all say goodbye to one another, with Irey apologizing to Robin, saying that she did misjudge him. And even Damien apologizes for misjudging her as well, hoping that maybe they can all do this again. They do have the Eternity Mind, so them doing this again is always a possibility. But when John and Damien hop back to their universe, the Eternity Mind has been left behind. And when it is left behind, we see that Granny Goodness is the one to find it. And now she is about to begin her recruitment. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Definitely a fun story, definitely a fun opportunity to see the super kids out here doing what they do best. It's also nice to always get the super sons involved in any story. While all these super kids come from different universes, though they're not in the same place, there is always opportunities like this where you can use some kind of device. In this instance, it's the Eternity Mind, to bring all of them together, bring them to one place, and get to see them fully operate. It's one thing I've been liking about the Flash stories is really the focus on the children. Now, don't get me wrong, I want some more heavily focused Wally West stories, but following his children is never a bad way to go. It's always a fun story, it's wholesome, it's full of heart. You really can't go wrong with these stories. Even if at times it feels a little bit childish, that's really the point. You know, there are so many comics out there that are not rated for kids these days. Whether it has cussing in it, has lots of blood and gore and things of these nature, it's not necessarily bad for kids, but these ones are more wholesome stories. They're more family-oriented stories. And so if you're one of those parents that really doesn't want to introduce your kid to gore and blood and violence and cussing, these Flash stories have been absolutely phenomenal when it comes to really appealing to the youngest of audience comic book readers. But recently I did hear the news that Jeremy Adams will be leaving his run of the Flash. This is definitely unfortunate. Like I said, I was a little skeptical on Jeremy Adams at first, but he really did knock it out of the park. Now I gotta be skeptical on a whole new writer taking over and hoping, just hoping, that they continue on some of these stories that Jeremy Adams has built up. I, for one, definitely want some more multiversal wrestling. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this story, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with The Flash. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.